question came in from one of our members on sanitizing the fresh water. They have a previously owned 2005 Gulfstream and like to know how to flush and clean out the fresh water. I think they had left the water in it and hadn't been drained for a long time. Is there a way to sanitize, a safe way to do it? We showed a lot of fresh water, or excuse me, a lot of black water and gray water flushing. The fresh water is a little different because a lot of companies now are going to what's called an automatic fill switch. Now, to clean or sanitize a freshwater system, there are a variety of different products on the market. Thetford has some products that are freshwater sanitizer, deodorizer, even some that are just called freshener. There's about 5 or 6 different companies that are out in the market that have a product that not only sanitize but kind of deodorize, get that taste out of there, sometimes that plastic taste. Now, a lot of owners like to use vinegar in a water solution. I personally like to use bleach. And so what I do is I'm going to drain the tank and I'm going to put a bleach solution back in it, and I'm going to use about a cup of bleach to about 10 gallons of water. And I don't mind the smell or the taste of bleach myself, so I let it sit overnight. If I got a 50, 60 gallon tank, I'll put that in. And what I'll typically do is let it sit overnight and just kind of absorb those odors and sanitize it and then dump it out. And bleach is fine to put down any type of a septic or a sanitary district system like your dump valves or so forth. Now the challenge is going to come in getting that product into your freshwater tank. If you have a gravity fill, which usually is on the side of the unit, just out on the outside, you'll see it on a variety of different models that I can just put a hose and a funnel and I can pour all that water down in it. But there are a lot of manufacturers today that are using the city water fill with a valve to fill the freshwater tank. Now, what happens with that is I've got a simple outlet that I hook my city water to with pressurized water coming in, and then when I flip the valve over, it will fill my freshwater tank. It doesn't allow me to put my product that I want to deodorize, sanitize into that freshwater tank. So with that, it's a little more of a challenge. What I typically see, if you have a winterizing kit, make sure you run the bypass off of your freshwater system, then put your hose for the winterizing kit into your water solution, whether you're using the Thetford product, Camco product, or vinegar bleach solution. Put that in and that'll draw the stuff into your water system. Typically it won't go into the water tank, but at least it'll go through the pipes and into the system. About the only way you can do it in a freshwater tank, if you have one of the fill switches without a gravity feed, is to get an external pump. So you're just going to make up a short hose that hooks to your city water fill. It would go to the outlet side of a pump. It could be a small little pump like you would use for a fountain, if you have an extra SureFlow pump. And then on the other side of it, you'd put a small hose that would go into your water supply that you're trying to freshen. So with that type of system, it's a lot more difficult. Hopefully you have a gravity feed and you just put it down and sanitize your tanks.